Hey, good people. It is Wednesday, September the 23rd, and it's one half of the HPR Chronicles podcast with Shakur and Smith. This is Shakur. We're not going to be doing a normal show today. Instead, I'm just going to bring you guys two historical facts. I'm away in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, traveling for work, movies, and other things that we have going on. So just wanted to bring you guys a couple of historical facts for today in history instead of bringing you the entire podcast. So those of you watching on YouTube, it'll be some visuals along with this. If you're listening on one of our streaming platforms, it'll just be the normal information you would listen to without the visuals. So here we go. I hope everyone is well out there, and shout out to Smith. He'll be checking back in with us the week of the September 30th. So let's get into it. So we have two historical facts today. The first one is going to be Judy W Reed, 1826, September 23rd. She invented and she received, applied for a patent on her dough kneader and roller. The roly thing you would use to knead the dough when you're baking things and stuff like that. So little is known about Judy W. Reed, considered to be the first African-American woman to receive a United States patent. In January of 1884, September 23rd, Reed applied for a patent on her dough kneader and roller. The application was for an improved design on existing dough kneaders. Reed's device allowed the dough to mix more evenly as it progressed through two intermeshed rollers carved with corrugated slats that would act as kneaders. The dough then passed into a covered receptacle to protect the dough from dust and other particles in the air. On September 23, 1884, Reed received patent number 305474 for her invention. There's no record of her life beyond this document. Since women sometimes use their first and or middle initials when signing documents, often to disguise their gender, and patent applications didn't require the applicant to indicate his or her race, it is unknown if there are earlier African-American women inventors before Reed. So the interesting thing enough, audiences, I wonder if today any African-American companies own a kneading roller, a needle or a roller. Since an African-American woman invented it, I'm sure none of us even, own any company that makes it. Therefore, no generational wealth was ever passed on. I'm almost positive, but I'll definitely look into it. You guys can look into it. If you find something, please leave it in the description below. The second one we're going to talk about today is Ray Charles. He was born on September 23rd in 1930. I mean, who doesn't know Ray Charles? He's one of our musical icons that was blind and, just was an amazing musician when he was alive. And I'm sure you all know about the Ray Charles movie that Jamie Foxx won the Academy Award for, where he played Ray Charles. He did an amazing job. So for those of you who didn't know much about Ray Charles, let's get into it real quick. Ray Charles' original name, Ray Charles Robinson, born September 23rd, 1930 in Albany, Georgia. He died June 10th, 2004 in Beverly Hills, California. American pianist, singer, composer, and band leader, a leading Black entertainer, billed as the Genius. Charles was credited with the early development of soul music, a style based on melding of gospel, rhythm and blues, and jazz music. When Charles was an infant, his family moved to Greenville, Florida, and he began his musical career at age 5 on a piano in a neighborhood cafe. He began to go blind at 6, possibly from glaucoma, and had completely lost his sight by age 7. He attended the St. Augustine School for the Deaf and Blind, where he concentrated on musical studies, but left school at age 15 to play the piano professionally after his mother died from cancer. His father had died when he was 10. Charles built a remarkable career based on the immediacy of emotion in his performances. After emerging as a blues and jazz pianist indebted to Nat King Cole's style in the late 1940s, Charles recorded the boogie woogie classic, Mess Around, and the novelty song, It Should Have Been Me, in 1952. His arrangement for Guitar Slim's The Things That I Used to Do became a blues million seller in 1953. By 1954, Charles had created a successful combination of blues and gospel influences and signed on with Atlantic Records. Propelled by Charles's distinctive raspy voice, I've Got a Woman and Hallelujah, I Love You So became hit records. What I'd Say led the rhythm and blues sales chart in 1959 and was Charles's own first million seller. Charles's rhythmic piano playing and band arranging revived the funky quality of jazz, but he also recorded in many other musical genres. He entered the pop market with the bestsellers Georgia on My Mind in 1960 and Hit the Road Jack in 1961. His album Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music 1962 sold more than 1 million copies, as did its single I Can't Stop Loving You. Thereafter, his music emphasized jazz standards and renditions of pop and show tunes. From 1955, Charles toured extensively in the United States and elsewhere with his own big band and a gospel-style female backup quartet called the Raylettes. He also appeared on television and worked in films such as Ballad in the Blue 1964 and The Blues Brothers 1980 as a featured act and soundtrack composer. He formed his own custom recording labels, Tangerine in 1962 and Crossover Records in 1973. The recipient of many national and international awards, he received 13 Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award in 1987. In 1986, Charles was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and received a Kennedy Center honor. He published an autobiography, Brother Ray Charles' Own Story, 1978, written with David Ritz. He was the subject of the acclaimed biopic Ray 2004, which starred Jamie Foxx as Charles in the Academy Award-winning performance. So there you have it, guys. You know, some interesting stuff about Ray Charles. If you didn't know, now you know, and check it out and look him up on your own. And you can find out even more historical facts about Ray Charles. So that was on this day, September 23rd, on the HPR Chronicles Podcast with Shakur and Smith. It's one half of the show, Shakur, bringing it to you today, September 23rd. And Smith and myself will see you guys next week. Don't forget to subscribe on ICT Group Digital. And thank you for listening where you get your podcasts. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Peace.